So welcome back to the Manhattan Yorkers and the Philadelphians. We've got a doubleheader, and it's the Manhattan Yorkers and the Philadelphians once again with the news. Manhattan Yorkers have won the toss again, and they've opted to bat like we saw not too long ago. They were able to pull through thanks to a good knock from Raymond Ramratan, and perhaps a bit of luck as the ball went in the region of Danish Patel, who couldn't complete the catch. So we are off and running here. Abdul Jabbar, it looks like, and Pranav and Danish Patel has come to the middle. So the news here, Manhattan Yorkers, they've won the toss and they've elected to bat. Full 20 overs. And so Manujacharya calling right, and he's opted to bat for us as we saw from the previous game. So we're just about ready to start, and we're getting ready for the first ball. On change team except for Arya Garg. Arya Garg comes out, and Laksh Parikh comes in for his space. And so that's the news out in the middle. The Philadelphians, they're playing an unchanged team, and so they've gone with the team that took them through. Couple of good balls in this over. We are using the same pitch, and one of the reasons why this game got off to a 3 p.m. start, there were yes or no considerations to move the pitch to one to your left. If you're watching on the screen now, well, if you there's a pitch on the left. They were planning to use one of those on the left, but they've decided that because of time, and the whole camera setup would have to be reprogrammed and reset up. So they've decided that, well, we'll stay on the same pitch. And so here we are, ball going down the leg side. The first run for Manhattan Yorkers comes because of a wide from Abdul Jabbar. So Pranav into the hands of Hakeem Diwar, and Pranav Chattapalyam, his woes continues. Another failure for him, and the first wicket goes down. It's 1 for 1. So Pranav goes quite cheaply again. In fact, he's gone without scoring, and Devan Shett has come to the middle. So good start here for the Philadelphians. We've seen Abdul Jabbar getting a wicket here, and it comes down to the others, and 116 balls remaining. We've seen an exciting contest that ended with the Philadelphians winning off the very last ball. They needed 3 in the last ball, and we saw a shot played by Raymond Ramratan and went away eventually for 4. So the Shett comes out here with not a good start from the Yorkers. Again, they've struggled to really put up good scores. Appeal goes up. Aditya Ganesh very quick, but umpire Mihir Patel says not out. And so 2 new umpires here. That's Mihir Patel, and then of course here is Colin Edwards. So a couple of new umpires in this game. A big panel of umpires have assembled here at Mercer County Park, and so We've got umpire to spear here. So this will complete the first over. Good one here from Abdul Jabbar. It's 1 for 1. So corner dry. We'll pick up the attack from the media center end. We'll come into bowl to Danish Patel. Let's see what Danish has done in the series so far. Got a couple of big knocks, 30 and 46 in the last 2 games. And we also saw him getting a 6 and a 16. So he settles and waits for corner dry. And ball driven straight back to, looks like Ayush Patel is the fielder. And so recovery mode here for the Manhattan Yorkers. They need someone to stand up and bat full 20 overs. And we have seen the departure of Pranav Chatterpalli, and Pranav has really struggled this season. And he has batted 4 times. His highest score has been 15 so far, but he's gone for the day here. And ball into the offside. We've talked about corner dry. He's one of the good fast bowler around. Saw him this year in the Major League setup. A man that will be hoping that he could break into the US national team. And he'll be quite delighted that he's playing in a region in which run scoring has always been a little tough here in the East. So if you're a bowler planning to maybe bowl some good economy rates and perhaps to pick up a wicket, come to the East. We've got conditions that could suit bowling. Yeah, defended here by Devan Shett. And he's one of the newcomers to this Yorkers team. We've seen the likes of Ganesh, we've seen Karan Vasodia, Yasir Mohammed and Deep Patel forming the middle order. But they just haven't put up enough runs at times. Yeah, no pace. And the timing is not into that one. And so Shett continues to be out in the middle. Danish Patel, he's been at the top of the order. We saw up at Albany, he was given a couple of shots in the middle. But I think the management of Yorker is realizing that his best chance to succeed is maybe go at the top of the order. And here he is. Devon Shedd gets another good delivery from a man who's been around US cricket for some time, corner dry. We talked about he's made a big move from the Atlanta Fire. So Devon Shedd getting a big opportunity. We haven't seen Derek Narine this weekend, in fact for today's. So you get the feeling opening spot has been opening up for Devan Shett. So here's the final ball. Corner dry runs in. Oh, guided away into the offside. Akeem Diwar is the fielder, and that will complete 1. So in fact that will complete 2, and after 2 is 3 for 1. So the action continues. Manhattan Yorkers. They were just beaten by the Philadelphians. The Philadelphians will now go up to 4 points. And Manhattan Yorkers still remaining on 2. Here is Abdul Jabbar. Ball defended here by Danish Patel. Can't score. Score is 4 for 1. We've seen a good start here from Abdul Jabbar, and a good start also from corner try. And so a quiet start from the Manhattan Yorkers, having lost a wicket already. Ball driven into the offside. Looking for a couple of runs. It's not there from Danish Patel. So we've got our photographers and media people working the event. And our good friends there, they're trying to capture all the action in this 2025 season of minor league cricket. So Abdul Jabbar, left arm spin, given a big opportunity here to start for the Philadelphians, and so far he has held up pretty well. Yeah, a ripper of a delivery. The over comes to an end, so 3 gone is 6 for 1. So corner drive will continue. So we've seen, in fact, Bhaskar Yadram comes into the attack. So a quick spell from corner drive. And Bhaskar Yadram, we talked about how quality of a all-rounder he is. And he's been given the ball here. 1 over from corner drive. That went just for a couple of runs. We've seen 2 from Abdul Jabbar, and Abdul Jabbar has picked up the only wicket to fall so far. Here is Bhaskar Yadram. Oh, that's a lovely shot into the offside. Balls beat the fielder Ayush Patel, and they come back for a couple of runs. A good looking shot from Danish Patel. He's a quality player, and we talked about he's been their best batsman this season. And he's got a couple of good scores in Albany. He got a 30 and a 46 towards the end of the weekend. Also got a 6 and 16. And so far he's been the best Yorker so far. He's a very good player. Wouldn't be surprised that he continues to be one of the run scorer. That's driven and lovely drive through the offside. And we were just talking how good Danish Patel is. Well, that's a good confirmation from a lovely shot. And folks, take a look at this one. This is a classic cover drive coming down the track. And that's one of the best we've seen all day. I hope we can see a lot more, but that's a lovely shot from Danish Patel. He's gone up to 8 so far. As Bhaskar Yadram continues, and ball that is making some bit of height. And Danish Patel does well to keep the ball from any of the fielders. Yeah, that's one of the things we have talked about. Well, take a look at this shot. Look at that. Well, in the rib cage. And I know they've got a protection that you can have to protect the rib. But Bhaskar Yadram, he's gone for 7 in this over. The ball guided into the offside. Deveshwari Prasad comes around, can't prevent the single. Good running. And we've seen an over that has gone for 8 so far. So the Yorkers will complete their round 2 games here at Mercer County, and we talked about that the Yorkers will remain here for the remainder of their 4 games. Oh, cut away into the offside. That will complete the 4th over. So 4 gone is 14 for the loss of 1. So the points table, we talked about the points table. The Stallions at the top of the heap, 4 games, 4 wins, 8 points. Let's look down to the number 4. The teams on 4, the Philadelphians has gone up to the 3rd position. And if they won a couple of games, this one on tap with the Yorkers. But look at the Yorkers, they'll have to do a lot of work to get among the midst of the other ones at the top of them. And I made the point that the Yorkers will be playing all their remaining 4 matches after today right here in Mercer County, and their schedule is quite a simplified one. Saturday the 13th, Sunday the 14th, the Stallions visit here, and then on the 20th and the 21st, Cavaliers will come here for 2 games. So very simplified and very easy schedule to understand. Whoever comes here, stay for the whole day, and you do nothing else but you play Manhattan Yorkers. So quite a simple fixture to understand. Into the offside, chance of a run out, and they go quickly through for a run. In fact, no run there, as Bhaskar Yadram was looking quite threatening. In fact, there is one, and so a run to Danish Patel. He goes into double figures. And we talked about he got a 46 in their last game, a game in which they won. The ball cut away into the offside, and they come back for a couple of runs. So a scream on the fielder there. Looks to be AJ Abdul Jabbar. May have misfielded it, allowing the batter to come through for an additional run. And the Philadelphians, let's talk about the Philadelphians. What lies ahead for them? Well, they'll complete a couple of games against the Yorkers today, and then next week, the 13th and the 14th, they will head back up to Albany. All their games will be in Albany after today, and so 13th and 14th they go up to the Oval up in Albany, and they'll take on the Titans and the Cavaliers on 13 and 14 respectively. And then on the 19th and 20th they go back up to the Oval to take on the Eagles and the Stallions. So that's the Philadelphians campaign in 2025. They've won a couple of games, they've lost 3, and this is game number 6 hanging in the balance to be determined, and still a long way to go. Yeah, that's the camp of the Manhattan Yorkers, and we've seen a second time today manager Charya calling correctly and making the determination that they'll bat. Oh, driven into the offside. Fielder will come around. And so one more run here to the Manhattan Yorkers. And they go up to 18. They've lost the wicket of Shett. They lost the wicket with just one run on the board. And so we've seen a partnership beginning to develop here. And there's the Philadelphians. This group of individuals, strong supporters of the Philadelphians, and they go everywhere the Philadelphians play. Whether by drive, whether by flying, they do get to the park and watch the Philadelphians play. So here they are, enjoying the game so far, and they'll be quite happy with the second game in progress here with the news the Philadelphians have won the opening encounter today. So 5 gone, it's 18 for the loss of 1. So Bhaskar Yadram will continue. Oh, driven into the offside. Lovely shot from Shett. Only get a single. Hands the strike over to the best batter so far for the season for the Yorkers. That is Danish Patel. 6, 16, 30 and 46. Maybe those are good numbers to play. The power ball is coming up, I think, tomorrow night. And the power ball set at a very high price at the moment. This one into the offside. And they scamper through for another quick single. Onkar Zope is the fielder. So few games on today, and then the action heats up tomorrow all across the country. There's so many games. We saw last week a big chunk of 49 games completed in round 1 of this minor league series. So a bat change for, it looks like, Danish Patel. So Devon Shett with a bat change, and he gets ready to face Bhaskar Yadram. Yeah, good delivery, good bowling here from Bhaskar Yadram. We talked about some movement of players. Here's one. Bhaskar Yadram coming to the Philadelphians this year. And Bhaskar Yadram has done a lot of work with his fitness this year. And he's really looked in top shape. I gotta ask him what's the secret. It's outside the off stump, looking to play. Ball goes bouncing to Aditya Ganesh. Yeah, Bhaskar Yadram, like many other local cricketers, a lot of finals tomorrow, I'll tell you that. A lot of semi-finals and finals on Sunday. Bhaskar Yadram himself will be involved in a semi-final tomorrow, a final perhaps on Sunday. And all across the tri-state area, this weekend is finals weekend for many leagues. Shett takes evasive action as the ball comes off the body. And Bhaskar Yadram will be he'll be heading up to the Everest ACS. Take a look at this one. Yep. Taking on the body here from off Shett. And so final ball coming up as Yorkers off to a quiet start. They're going at 3.4. Swing and a miss, and that will complete 6. So the power play sessions are done. And after 6 is 20 for the loss of 1. So the action continues. And the hero of the first game that got an additional 2 points for the Philadelphians, Ramratan, has been given the ball, the leg spinner. And Ray will come into bowl to Danish Patel. So Ray so far, his best bowling figures this season, 2 for 32. And I'll tell you the other three performance from him, but he starts to come into Danish Patel. Pulled and pulled well. That's a lovely shot. And gone away for a very imposing and confident looking shot from Danish Patel. Yeah, lovely shot. Danish Patel, look at that. Short and hammered into the onside. It's a lovely way to put away loose ball, and so not a good start here from Ramratan. Again, pulled, and this time gone for a maximum. So 10 and 2 balls. Danish Patel has capitalized on a couple of short ball from the leg spinner. And this one bang into the onside, gone for a maximum. And so 10 and 2 ball, Danish Patel on fire here at the Mercer County Park. Lovely strikes from Danish Patel. 2 strikes gone for 10, 1-6, 1-4. Another good start from Ray. So far Ray has bowled none for 10, 2 for 32, 1 for 43, and none for 27. So nothing to drive home so far. He's gone for an expensive spell at 1 for 43. And cut away into the region of Cornet Dry, who does well to limit the batter to only 1. But Danish Patel continues to motor along. And you look at the card there, he's up to 22 from just, 16 balls? And that partnership has gone up to 30 so far. It was only 1 run when we saw the departure of Pranav, who continues to have a very poor season, Pranav. And now it's down to Shett, Danish Patel, and the others, if they come. Driven into the offside. Ryan Scott has some work to do. He's very quick, Ryan Scott. And so when you've played against Ryan Scott for some time, you probably don't want to take his arm on. Very good thrower of the ball, and he gets to the ball very quickly. 12 in this over so far. Here's the final ball coming up, and a good repair work here from Danish Patel and Devan Shett, but it's Danish Patel who has dominated proceedings for the time being, and so 7 gone is 33 for the loss of 1. So another over from AJ. Abdul Jabbar Mohammed. 1 for 8 in 3 overs here, so he'll finish up. Things are moving very fast. And one of the things in T20 cricket, it comes at you very quickly. It's a fast moving game. It was intended to be just that. And so far we've already seen 7 overs in the books. Here is AJ. Very good delivery here to Danish Patel. We talked about Danish Patel. He's been the Yorkers' best batsman this season. How do we know that? He's got some numbers to back that up. Cut away into the offside. Looking for a couple of runs. A bit of hesitation, but in the end, Parwani is the fielder. got the impression they should have pressured Parwani into running for the couple of runs in these big outfields. You've got to put pressure on the fielder. And these are big ground. You got to take on the arm of the fielder. Except maybe Ryan Scott. So we've seen a good over game from Abdul Jabbar. He will finish up here and he continues to bowl well. And we've seen Shett across the line of a delivery. So he's struggling here, I'll tell you that. And so now he's faced 24 balls. He's only posted 9 on the board. Hasn't been his fluent self. So, and Abdul Jabbar is using every opportunity to put in some good overs. He will finish up here. 3 overs, no man, 1 for 9. Ball tugged into the onside in the region of Ryan Scott. He does well to keep the ball to only 1, and so the bowling spell of AJ comes to an end. 4 overs, no man, 1 for 10. 8 gone is 35 for 1. Pranav Chattopadhyay, the batsman, now 35 for 1 at the end of 8. So it looks like Ram Ratan will continue and will come into bowl to Devan Shett, who is 10 off 27. So seems to be bogged down here by all the bowlers so far. We've seen a very good spell from Abdul Jabbar coming to an end. 4 overs, no min, 1 for 10. Ram Ratan first over went for 13. So here he is, the Shett. Cut away into the offside, and when you've got Ryan Scott patrolling that area, you know he will cover some good grounds. But a bit of fumble allows Shett to pick up a couple of runs, and the 9th has begun here for the Philadelphians. We talked about the first round trip to Albany. Oh, that's a lovely strike from Devan Shett into the offside, over the offside, and that has gone away for his first boundary of the innings. A lovely shot from Devan Shett. Yeah, that's the way you got to hit the leg spinner on the full, and he timed it well. The placement was good, and it's a very fast outfield here at Mercer County Park, and he runs away quickly for 4. So a good looking shot, or a good release shot here from Devan Shett. And still he wants to close the gap between ball's face and how much he's produced so far. But we're beginning to see another expensive over here from Ram Ratan. He's gone for 7. His first over went for 13. And we're just about halfway through his second over, halfway through the 9th. And folks, with the news, the Yorkers have won the toss and they've elected to bat. And those who followed the first game, well, more precisely for those who did not follow the first game, we saw a very exciting 7 overs a side game in which the Philadelphians needed 3 in the last ball, and there was much drama on that last ball that eventually went for 4. And so a couple of runs here to end in fact, one more ball remaining as Danish Patel continues to pile on some runs for him. He's up to 26 so far. He's played a good hand. That partnership has gone up to 43. And another big over here off the bowling of Ram Ratan. He's given up 9. And so a couple of big overs from Ram Ratan. One that gone for 13 and this one for 9 with a ball remaining. So we've seen A good bit of recovery from the Manhattan Yorkers. And if there's one team in the East that badly needs some points, well, Manhattan Yorkers, they've got to get it right sooner or later. Well, they've got this game to count. Cut away into the offside. That will complete the 9th over. So 9 gone. It's 45 for 1. So the action continues. Ball outside the off stump, Abdul Jabbar. .45 for the loss of 1. So he has one more. A couple of good balls in this over. Danish Patel remains. So we've seen a partnership of 44 between the pair out in the middle. Remember, they lost Pranav, just one on the board. We've seen a good recovery here. So umpire Mihir Patel loses his hat, loses the shade, not his. I played a miss, so we've seen a good bowling spell here from Abdul Jabbar. Yeah, that's Mihir Patel. Yeah, as an umpire, you've got to keep so many equipments now for the bowlers. And the bowlers, the fielders, they come out onto the field knowing that maybe they don't really need the shades, but they still bring it and they give it to the umpires. So 45 for 1. We are in the 10th, moving very quickly along. Yeah, driven into the offside. Good half stop here from Abdul Jabbar. And so we're one ball away for halfway stage for the Philadelphians. They're going at 4.6. And if you probably want to double 46, then we'll get to 92 and then see how this game progresses. Oh, big strike from Shett. Has gone all the way in the middle of the bat, almost to the car park, and that's a massive hit. Brings up the 50 for the Yorkers. They're up to 52 into the onside, and then a lovely strike from Shett, and that's gone all the way almost to the car park, and that's a long way, and that's a lovely strike from this young man. 52 on the board at the end of 10. 52 at the end of 10. So we're back with the cricket. Very quick drinks break. And you gotta love the fact that things are happening and going quickly here at Mercer County Park. Calling Edwards and Mayor Patel. We've seen a massive strike in the last over of the bowling of Abdul Jabbar. And Abdul Jabbar is now done 1 for 13 off his 4. And it looks like Cornet Dry comes in for another bowling spell. His first over went for 2. And the ball outside the off stump. So not too sure if Cornet Dry is gonna enjoy the conditions here at Mercer County Park. Some loopy deliveries, and so he's a bowler that bowls fast. And anything that impedes that speed, not too sure how much he's gonna like. Wickets that slows down the delivery. Lovely shot here from Danish Patel, and he picks up a couple more runs, so he continues to bat extremely well. We've seen Garanshu Sharma from the Titans with some bit of runs in this series in the East. And now Danish Patel is batting very well today. And that partnership has gone beyond 50 so far. So they've done some repairing work here. Pulled away, short ball from Cornet Dry. And a lovely pull from Danish Patel fetches him another 4 runs. Yeah, look at that, angling down the leg side, also short. And Danish Patel, in a flash, pulls it through the onside, picks up another boundary. So 3 4s and 1 6 from him so far. And they've gone up to 58 for 1. They've lost the wicket of Pranav. And so far we'll cover Cornet Dry bowling spell in this series coming into today's game, and this one into the onside. So far coming into today's game, Cornet Dry has bowled 1 for 26, 2 for 26, 1 for 38, none for 25. And we saw in the shortened game, let's see what Cornet Dry has done in the shortened game a couple hours ago. He bowled 1 over. He picked up 1 for 8. And so those are Cornet Dry's figure for you. Shett comes back into strike. We've seen 7 in this over so far. Up and over the offside. He's going to take some running here from the fielder to catch that. And it goes away for another good looking shot from Devon Shett. So this over's gone for 11. Another slower ball short. And the batters realizing that they'll have to wait a while longer before the ball comes on, and hammered it over the offside field. And it runs away for another boundary here. So the Manhattan Yorkers picking things up. And we've seen a partnership valued at 62 so far. Guided into the offside. And so another run here for the partnership. The partnership goes up to 63. And so that's the end of the 11. So 11 gone, 64 for the loss of 1. So Devashwari Prasad will continue. His first over went for just 4 runs. 11 overs gone. They're batting a 64 for 1. And Prashad will come into bowl to Shett. Nibble that one outside the off stump. Ball not carrying to Aditya Ganesh. One of the things you'll understand, over 4 years of minor league cricket, these teams have met 8 times. You might be wondering what's the tail of the tape. The tail of the tape, well, they've played 8 times in 4 years of competition, so they've played each other twice every year. In 2021, 2022, 2023 and 2024. Well, I've got some numbers for you. They've played each other 8 times. It's the Philadelphians who have dominated things, and so 6-2. And if we're counting this morning one, so that's 7-2. Alright, so that's the matchup for you. Philadelphians and Yorkers have played each other 9 times. And the Philadelphians, they count is 9. Well, in fact, it's it's 7-2. 7-2 for the Philadelphians. And so probably in 2-3 hours we'll get a result in this one. Oh, pulled away. A lovely shot from Shett. And that has gone for the third maximum of this match, twice off his bat. And Devashwari Prashad testing the deck. Can't bowl short here. And Shett with a lovely shot into the offside, into the onside. And look at that, comes down the track and plays one of those big shots, the upper pull, and that has gone away for another maximum. So 2 sixes from him, and into the onside, looking for runs, challenging the fielder. They settle for 1. And we've seen a tidy over so far from Prashad up until the 6. And in 2 balls he's given up 7, but prior to that 3 dot balls in the over, so the over started pretty well. And now we come down to the final ball. Into the offside. They're gonna scamper through for a single, and the throw came in from Ray and didn't hit the stump. So 12 gone. 72 for the loss of 1. 72 for the loss of 1. 12 overs gone. Yeah, partnership of 71, you're right on that. And it has come off 68 balls, so you're beginning to see Danish Patel and Shett beginning to pick things up. Yeah, we talked about losing a wicket very early, but we have seen a very good recovery. It looks like Parwani has been given the ball. J.K. Parwani. So he comes in here looking to break this partnership, but Yorkers will be hoping that both batters get to a half century and move on. Good start from Parwani. Starts with a dot ball. Very important juncture of the game. You might be wondering how many matches are played on this Mercy County Park. Oh, we got some numbers for you also. Well, it's about 47 matches of minor league matches have played on this ground. For the time they've been using this facility, and how many times Philadelphians have come here? Well, they've come here 12 times. And the Yorkers, we talked about this is their home ground. They've played here 19 times. Into the onside, running well, running, coming back for a couple of runs. A good running here from Danish Patel and Shett. And it's interesting to note that when the batters are in form, not only that the runs are easier to come at times when you're in form, when things are going good for you, but even the running comes off. And there's something about form, it just enhances your overall game. Shots are better, you run better, all of a sudden you begin to be a fitter player. And we have seen some good running in this over. So good batting here from Shett and Danish Patel. And as you can see on your screen there, Danish is up to 39. We talked about how good he's been for the Yorkers again. Scores of 6, 16, 30 and 46. And he's gotten a big one so far. Side the off stump. Might have gotten away with one there from Colin Edwards. So Parwani will finish up here. Final ball coming up. We've seen a 70 plus run partnership here. Oh, in the air, fielder will come around. Oh, takes a good catch. And so Ayush Patel runs around, had to cover some bit of ground. And he holds on to a good catch off the bat of Shett. And that big partnership of 74 comes to an end of the bowling of J.K. Parwani. So the big partnership comes to an end. And we've seen an excellent catch here from Ayush Patel. Look at that. Ball in the air into the onside. And Patel had to run back. He did well, kept his eyes on the ball and held on for dear life. So that's the end of Shett. He's played a very good hand. He falls for 35. It's 75 for the loss of 2. So Deep Patel comes to the middle. And folks, for you at home, you might be seeing 2 Deep Patel on the screen. Well, it's easy to figure out who is which. Well, Danish Patel, he's on 39. Deep Patel has just come to the middle, so you know Deep Patel will have some catching up to do. So Deep Patel, one is Danish Patel and one is Deep Patel. Cricket clubs have them both at Deep Patel, so easy to figure out. Danish is on 39 and he's going to take some catching up from Deep Patel. So the one with the least score, you'll have to call him Deep. Alright, so it's 76 for 2. And we're in the 14th over. And we talked about so many players in the tri-state area will be going off for a lot of semi-finals and finals happening this week all across the tri-state area. Prashad will be playing in a semi-final tomorrow. Bhaskar Yadram will be playing in a semi-final tomorrow. Akim Diwar will play in the semi-final tomorrow. Then we've got some finals day coming up on Sunday all across New York and in New Jersey. Cricket League of New Jersey having their final on Sunday. National League have their B final on Sunday. The Commonwealth Cricket League have their Supreme final on Sunday. So a lot of cricket happening. In addition to minor league, of course, we'll be playing at different parts of the country. Games on tonight, or maybe later on, but a full flurry of activity for this year minor league will be across the entire country as Danish picks up another run. And so we come down to 38 balls remaining. And for some reason, I personally think that this game is moving extremely quick. Prashad. And ball punched into the covers. The captain Cornet Dry is the fielder. So we've seen a very good over here from Devashwari Prashad. We talked about his hat-trick. His hat-trick performance last weekend. And a play and a miss. So the 14th over comes to a close. A 78 for the loss of 2. 78 for 2 at the end of 14. So J.K. Parwani will continue. And we've got 36 balls remaining. Where will the Yorkers end? Can the Philadelphians making 2-0 on the day today? Or will the Yorkers equalize by winning the 3 o'clock game? Have to wait and see. We come down to 35 balls remaining. Parwani has opted to come around the wicket. He's done that effectively in the last over. We saw he picked up the wicket of Shett. And so ball guided into the offside. Bhaskar Yadram is the fielder. And so we talked about the Stallions at the top of the table, enjoying another good season for them so far. And they've yet to be beaten by any of the teams in the East. Yeah, and when you look at the Yorkers, they've got some tough games coming up. And in fact, all of their games, well, they've got a couple of games against the Stallions. You don't want to run into the Red Hot Stallions at this juncture of the tournament. Ball driven into the offside, well stopped by the Philadelphians fielder. And then they've got a couple more games the following weekend against the Cavaliers. And this will come at a time in which they're looking for a few more points to probably see how well they can finish their 2025 season, and of course to get into the playoff. And the Philadelphians, well, let's see who they've got next weekend. Well, they've got the Titans and Cavaliers next weekend, and then the following weekend they've got the Eagles and the big team, the Stallions. So they've got a mixed bag, and they're hoping that maybe they can take maximum points for today. Ball punched into the offside. Fielder will come around. This has been a quiet over here for Parwani. Comes to an end. And after 15, it's 82 for 2. Yeah, we've seen a good knock again from Danish Patel. We saw a big partnership with Shett. He batted well towards the ending part of his innings, struck some lusty blows. And you look at 43 and 35. At one time they were batting, their partnership was 74. So Yorkers opted to bat first, and let's see what they'll put on here. Bhaskar Yadram comes back into the attack. And he comes in here with 30 balls remaining, runs into to Deep Patel. One that kept low. Deep Patel does well. Yeah, one of the things when you play on the surface that doesn't give you 100 true bunks, you've got to stay low. You've got to play late. But you've got to expect the ball to be around your knee roll. There again, not a ball that beats the bat of Deep Patel, goes through to Ganesh. And it's not surprising to see a couple of balls reared and took the batters on the body. That's the price you'll have to pay. You'll have to stay low, or if you want to avoid those balls that will pop to you from time to time, you'll have to. That's a risk you'll have to take on this pitch. Into the offside, good running here from Deep Patel and Danish Patel. He comes back into strike, Danish. Now we talked about, if you're looking at the scorecard and you see two Deep Patel, the one with the most runs so far, that's Danish. And quite rightly so, he's been there from the start. Deep has just joined him. I don't expect Deep to catch up to 43 from Danish Patel. So for the time being, they're easy to differentiate. And you're looking at Bhaskar Yadram. On the scorecard, he says Yadram Bhaskar. So Bhaskar Yadram, he's gone for one in the over. Yeah, just coming back to a couple of the balls that have popped on the batsman. That is because, and we saw one from Danish Patel, we saw one from Shett that took the ball on your body. And that's what you got to do. At the end of the game, you've got to have some bruises and scratches. We've seen it so many times in international cricket. Batters will come out and they'll show you the scars they have survived, and some pitches that are not easy to really bat. And this is where the likes of Danish Patel and the others are batting on this pitch. You will have to show that you have the grit and the guts to really dig in, get 6-7 runs and over. Playing a miss, and the ball goes through to Ganesh. And one of the things that the teams in the East will have to figure out is that if you can get up to 130, 140 in these conditions here, you could be in for something. You get up to 150, 160, it's even better. But you've got to come up with plans to knock the ball around 5-6 runs and over. The odd boundaries will come. You'll be able to put away some loose balls when they come. Into the onside. The 16th over comes to a close. And after 16, it's 84 for the loss of 2. So the bowling so far, we talked about Abdul Jabbar, 1 for 13 off 4. And also we have seen a wicket from Parwani. Bearing in mind, folks, that the Yorkers have only lost a couple of wickets. And we've seen a full complement of bowlers so far. Sixth bowler being used here by Corner Dry. And we come down to 24 balls remaining, 16 overs gone. And they're going at 5, just over 5.2 to be exact. And so projection here showing 132. Oh, big strike here from Danish Patel. Fielder settles under it, can't take the catch. Gone for a maximum, and it brings up a half century for Danish Patel. So Danish Patel, a 47 ball half century. And what a way to bring that up. His highest score this season. And it comes off the bowling of J.K. Parwani. So 50 for Danish Patel. It's 90 for the loss of 2. 23 balls still to come. And Parwani into the onside. Pulled away. Finds the gap. And that's another boundary for Danish Patel. So 10 in 2 balls. He gets to a half century. And straight away he is taken on J.K. Parwani. And pulled through the onside. And gone away for another boundary. So it's 94 for the loss of 2. And we've got 22 balls still to come. Look at that. Pulled away. Lovely shot from Danish Patel. And he has gotten his highest score of the season so far. So the action continues. And this time into the offside. More runs there for Danish Patel. And he picks up a single. Hands a strike over to D. Patel. So approaching the 100 figure mark. And ball punched into the offside as Manhattan Yorkers opting to bat first. Things are progressing pretty well. At one stage, it looked that they got off to a very slow start, but we saw a big partnership between Devon Shett and the man on strike here, Danish Patel, and he picks up another run that will take the score closer to 100. They're up to 97 for 2. And we talked about if you can get 130, 140, sometimes you're in business. Outside the off stump, Colin Edwards have seen too many going too wide-ish, but he decides that he's had enough with this Parwani bowling way outside the off stump. This one punched into the offside, so that will complete the 17th over. So 17 gone, folks. It's a 99 for the loss of 2. When we come back, Manhattan Yorkers will surely cross the 100 mark. It's 99 for 2 at the end of 17. So 99 for 2. Bhaskar Yadram, 3 overs, no min, none for 12. We're on the verge of crossing the 100. Get to 100, maybe cross that mark for sure. D. Patel will be on strike, and here is Bhaskar Yadram to D. Patel. Driven into the offside. 100 comes up for the Manhattan Yorkers. And I'm pretty sure that the camp will be quite happy with the way things have gone here. Good repair work done. And so 100 on the board for the Manhattan Yorkers. So 100 exactly. Danish Patel comes back on to strike. Bhaskar Yadram, none for 13 so far. Let's probably take a look at the figures of Bhaskar Yadram. Bearing in mind, folks, he came in late last weekend. Only played 1 game. So we'll take a look at what Bhaskar Yadram has done. In fact, not too sure if he bowled in that game. I don't have a figure for him. But I recall he was in for only the last game. Didn't see him for the other days. I was there. And I know when I left, Brian Barish and Abdul was on comm. So not too sure of his figures there. But we'll probably check that out. But here's Bhaskar Yadram to deep. That's the ball I keep talking about, that the ball can rear on you. But you've got to be prepared to take those body blows. You've got to be prepared to take those body blows and stay low. Wait for the ball that will kind of creep on you more than the ball that will pop. You've got a helmet, you've got gloves. Most of the time, batters at this level, you're able to take some form of evasive action. Lovely shot into the offside, into the onside. Number 11 does well. Keep the ball to only one, Zope. So Yadram has bowled over that has only gone for 3. We've got 14 balls remaining. Can they get up to 125? Danish Patel has been there from the start. He's crossed a half-century mark. He could be the man to open up. Yeah, trying to open up, but good bowling here from Bhaskar Yadram. And so we come down to the final ball in this over, and then there will be a couple of overs remaining. Deep Patel has taken some time to get going. 13 ball 8. And so final ball in this over from Deep Patel. No boundaries from him yet. So at some point, with lots of wickets in hand, they'll have to make an effort to push the attack to the Philadelphians. They've lost a game already this morning to them. Play and a miss. Not good here from Deep. But the 18th over comes to a close. 2 overs remaining. It's 103 for 2.
Talk about.
So it's 103 for 2. Ayush Patel has been given a ball. Young player. And he comes in here with 12 balls remaining. Danish Patel, he's got to go. It's 103 for 2. In fact, both batters or any batters that come out here, they've got to go. Into the onside. Looking for a couple of runs. Deciding, oh, that's a direct throw. Good throw from Hakeem Diwar. And we talked about Hakeem Diwar. Debut day for him. Made his debut. Got his Philadelphians cap. And he's all set for minor league cricket. So Ayush Patel, 11 balls remaining. Yorkers have to go. They've got to go big. And big does Deep Patel goes. Not deep enough. And into the hands of corner dry. But they've got wickets to play with. And so deep goes. Caught, corner dry, ball Ayush Patel. He's gone. It's 104 for 3. 104 for 3. Yeah, and you can fault Deep Patel. With 11 balls remaining, look at this. He's taking on Ayush Patel. Nothing wrong with that. When you've got wickets in hand, you're playing for runs. These are expected case. And it falls into the hand. Very safe hands of Cornet Dry. He's a good catcher. And look at that. Runs around. And he takes a comfortable catch in the end. So another wicket falls. It's 104 for 3. And we've got 10 balls remaining. It looks like Yasser Mohammed has come to the middle. And Yasir Mohammed, they'll need a knock from him. We saw over at Albany in the 4 matches he played, he made 6, 6, 6, and 34. Yeah, got 3 sixes in a row. 6, 6, 6. Taking on the pad, chance of a run out. The appeal comes up. Mid Patel is not interested in this camp of true for what could be a bye. In fact, not at all. So a single to get Yasir Mohammed on his way. And we come down to 9 deliveries remaining. We've seen a fine knock from Danish Patel. Has had to bat through some difficult period, a difficult phase. Can he use the difficulty that he's gone through to really explode with 9 balls remaining? Big swing and a miss. Good bowling here from Ayush Patel. Picked up the wicket of D. Patel, helped by corner dry. And now we've got 8 balls remaining, 2 in this over. I wonder who will bowl the last over. So many options. Maybe corner dry will bowl that one, or maybe Devashwari Prasad, their best bowler this year so far. Short should have gone square. And so Yasir Mohammed comes back into strike. Yeah, look at that short ball. Look at that short ball from Ayush Patel. I'm surprised that Danish Patel hadn't pulled that into the leg side. But Yasir Mohammed comes into strike. Final ball in this over. It's 106. Into the offside. They're gone for 1. Akeem Diwar, he's good. And that will complete 19 overs. So 19 gone. It's 107 for 3. 6 balls remaining. Take a look at the last ball. Look at that. Short. Why you going straight on the offside? Yeah, but it comes to an end. 19 gone. It's 107 for 3. So into the offside, last over has begun. And Danish Patel, the man on strike. That's a good man to get on strike, but he's got to... we've got to see a flurry here. On the other hand, the Philadelphians will be hoping that Devashwari Prasad can limit the scoring to maybe 112, 111. That will require another 4 runs in this over. Oh, pulled into the onside. Fielder settles, takes the catch. Short distance away from the ropes. It looks like Parwani has come up with a good catch. And Danish Patel, his big knock of 60 comes to an end. It's 108 for 4. So 108 for 4. And we've got 4 balls to be bowled here from Devashwari Prasad. So look at this. Yeah, into the onside, looking for runs. Nothing wrong with this. But look at that, straight into the hands of Parwani. He makes no mistake. Didn't have to move at all. Just has to put the hands out and collect the catch. And he's done that. So 108 for 4. The big wicket of Danish Patel is gone. And now Manoj Acharya, the captain, he continues to do everything for his team. Straight down the ground. Bhaskar Yadram is the fielder, only a single. 109. 109. We've got 3 balls remaining. Yasser Mohammed comes on to strike. What can Yasser do with 3 balls available here? What can Deveshwari finish up here with? Oh, that's a big strike from Yasser Mohammed. Gone all the way. Bhaskar Yadram running back, but I tell you what, he's running back to just retrieve the ball. And so massive strike here from Yasser Mohammed. Yeah, picked it up well. And so maximum result from that shot. It's 115 on the board. And we've got a couple of balls remaining here. Prashad, the bowler. And Prashad, we talked about coming into today's game with 7 wickets. I think he picked up one in the reduced 7 overs game earlier on. So then he'll probably go up to 8. Let's see what he's done in that morning game. He picked up in fact, he didn't pick up a wicket in that game, so he's still on 7. And he comes in now with final ball into the offside. Good shot here from Yasser Mohammed, running up towards the backward point boundary. And it rolls onto the hill. And that means it's gone past the rope. So the innings comes to a close. And it's 119. So 119 posted by the Yorkers, opting to bat first. And then need 120 from 120 balls. So simple equation. And so 119 by the Manhattan Yorkers. So there we have it, folks. We've seen a big knock from Danish Patel. Got 60. Devon Shett got 35. There was a big partnership of 74 between the pair. Yasser Mohammed towards the end, a couple of lusty blows. So it's 119. Bowling so far. Yeah, we've seen everybody. They haven't lost a lot of wicket, the Yorkers. So that means Ayush Patel, Parwani and Abdul Jabbar just picking up 1 apiece. And where does 100 stand on these conditions? It's going to be interesting. You never know what can happen here. So folks, we'll be back in 10 minutes with the news. The Philadelphians will need 120. So, welcome back, Manager Charya. Man on your screen there got a big job to do, and that is the defender 120 from same amount of balls. Umpire Zope along with Ryan Scott, no surprise there at all. And so Manager Charya, he's led this side. We talked about a very young team. And you look at Manager Charya, he's been with other franchise before, but he's become a very staple here with the Manhattan Yorkers, given a chance to lead the side. And Unkar Zope into the onside. He gets off the mark, a little hesitation, but they're off and running, and so a couple of runs here for the Philadelphians. Asking just about 6 runs and over. We've seen how tricky conditions can be here, so can't write anyone off yet. And so chance of a run out here, but in the end, good running. Ryan Scott calling for a quick single, and taking off is Unkar Zope. Perhaps a little belated, and there we go. Looks like one of the police helicopter. He's on his way on business. And so 2 for no loss. In fact, 3 for no loss. And Manager Charya will come in for the first time to bowl to Ryan Scott. Let's see what Scott has done in the series so far. Not a quality batter. Always an expectancy that it'll be an exciting time. And look at this one. The edge has eluded the wicketkeeper and gone away off the bat of Ryan Scott. Gone away for 4. So ball eluding Pranav Chattopadhyay. And a good start here from Manager Charya to Ryan Scott. Certainly not in control. But the ball has gone away for 4. So the Philadelphians, they go up to 7 for no loss. And so we're still in the first over. Oh, a slashing shot through the offside. And that has gone quickly away towards the cover boundary. 4 off the bat of Ryan Scott. Yeah, he likes the ball on the offside. And look at that, smashing it through the offside. 11 for no loss. Quick start here from the Philadelphians. And you look at Manager Charya, he's one of, well, let's see, in 2021, the Yorkers were captained by Smith Patel. And then in 2022, I want to think the captain was Rajdeep Darbar. And so for the other 2 years, it has been Manager Charya. So Manager Charya, Rajdeep Darbar, and Smith Patel. So those are your captains. And so this is year number 3 for Manager Charya. So he's been given a lengthy run here, by the Yorkers. And will come into bowl to Ryan Scott. A slashing shot into the offside has made Manager Charya and the boys make some early reinforcement. Yeah, better ball here from Manager Charya, and the ball goes through to the keeper, Pranav Chattopadhyay. So Ryan Scott, here are the scores coming into today's game from Ryan Scott, and maybe we'll pick that up at the end of the in the next over. But for now, here's the final ball, and then we'll tell you what Ryan has done in this season so far. Driven into the offside, can't score, so the first over comes to a close. A quick start for the Philadelphians. They're 11 without a loss, and we have seen one over completed so far. So Preacher will complement the captain Aurora. Starts pretty well with a ball outside the off stump. We saw in the earlier game, picked up 3 wickets. Preacher. Yeah, a couple of good deliveries here from Preacher. Zope giving another shot at the top here. Yeah, he allows one to go through. That seems to be the arm ball from the off spinner. So good start here from Preacher. He's not allowed the batter any opportunity to score. And this time they get a single. Preacher so far in the tournament, 2 for 8, none for 14, none for 25, none for 8. And we saw in the previous game against the Philadelphians, he got 3 for 15. So 3 for 15 being his best figure so far. Ryan Scott. I know I owed you some scores here from Ryan Scott. Let's see what Ryan Scott has done in this season. Well, he's got 25, he's got 9, he's got 23, he's got 34, and he's got 9. We saw in the earlier game he got 9. Over in Albany he got 25. He got 9, he got 23, and he got 34. So towards the end in Albany, he was beginning to really look good. Yeah, looking for a big shot. Not enough pace. And so we've seen a good over still from Preacher. So run a ball here almost, 108 from 109. And batters will have to still bat smart here at Mercer County Park. Final ball from Preacher. Scott is on 8. We've seen a couple of 4s from Ryan Scott already. And be assured, the longer Ryan Scott stays out in the middle, you're going to see some shots that will go over across the ropes. So the second over comes to a close here. A good over from Preacher. So 2 gone is 13 without loss. So left arm spin of Drew Pawar. Comes in here. We talked about Yorkers making one change to their side playing this second game. Laksh Parikh comes into the side at the expense of Arya Garg. And so some reinforcement of bowling. Laksh Parikh, another seamer, comes in and they've dropped Arya Garg. But in the meantime, Pawar comes into the attack here with Ryan Scott on strike. In the air, could be an easy catch here for Pranav. And so Ryan Scott falls. He falls for another 9 today. And the Philadelphians have lost their first wicket. Ryan Scott gone. 13 for the loss of 1. Yeah, first ball from Drew Pawar, wide outside off. And Ryan Scott going for a big one. Just hit it up. And Pranav Chattapalian takes an easy catch, especially when you've got the gloves on. And so it's 13 for the loss of 1.
Should be their problem. I'm sending it.
Check it out. So Aditya Ganesh comes to the middle. And he comes in here at a loss of Ryan Scott. Scott is gone for 9.
Check it.
So here is Pawar. And ball driven into the offside. Lovely shot to get off the mark. And a couple of runs here for Aditya Ganesh. So a lovely shot into the offside. Picks up a couple of runs. And so things are on the way here. We've seen a good start to his bowling spell from Drew Pawar. Has already taken the wicket, the big wicket of Ryan Scott. And so left-hander replacing left-hander Aditya Ganesh. We'll take a look at Aditya Ganesh's figure or his numbers so far. And ball guided into the offside. Good looking shot again from Ganesh. And so we're in to the third over. So let's see what Ganesh has done. 1/2 century for him. So left-hander replacing left-hander. So he got a 56 against the Eagles. And other scores of 11 not out, 19 and 32. So 2 big scores along the way. We saw in the earlier game. Got only 1 in a game, of course, reduced to 42 balls aside. But a young left arm spinner, Drew Pawar, will come into bowl to Unkar Zope. Play and a miss, and he can't score. So Pawar continues to bowl extremely well. We've seen Zope so far. 12 and 1 coming into today's game. Big swing and a miss across the line of the delivery and can't make any contact. Unkar Zope. And again, ball outside the off stump. So good over from Drew Pawar. Comes to an end. 3 off the over. And pick up the wicket of Ryan Scott. 3 gone is 16 for 1. So Preacher will continue. First over went for 2. We talked about Preacher. Best bowling figure happened earlier on today. 3 for 15 in a 7 overs match. Into the offside. Ganesh has been quite fluent for the 3 balls that he has faced. He's kept the scoreboard ticking. Got off the mark with a lovely drive into the offside. Picked up a couple of runs. And now hands a strike over to Zope. Still some ways to go. 103 from 101. We talked about 4 points for the Philadelphians at the moment. And should they win this game here, they will go up to 6 points. We'll try at the end of the over to give you the point standing, but the Stallions enjoying another good 2025 season. They're up there. And we've also seen the NYC Titans playing some good cricket last week in Albany. And you get the feeling that if the Philadelphians win this game, they will go upwards. Lovely shot from Zope. He finally latches on to a shortish ball here from Preacher and hammered it over the onside. Gone away for 4. Yeah, look at that. A long time coming here from Zope. We saw in the previous over a lot of play and misses, but he is connected with this one. And Zope, he's up to 7 now, as you can see, from 11 balls. So he's used up some deliveries, but you never know. Couple of big shots, he can make up for that. They've lost one. They've lost the wicket of Ryan Scott. And so far, Preacher will continue here. But yeah, let's talk points. And so the Stallions up 8 points so far. We'll have a look at the break. And ball defended here. Back to Preacher, and there is no run. So lots of cricket to be played here at Mercer County Park, especially for the Yorkers. They'll host next week. They'll host the Stallions, and then the following week they'll host Cavaliers. A couple of games with these 2 franchises, so they've got 4 more games remaining after this one. And a good delivery here from Preacher. And one of the things Preacher will do, he's an off spinner actually, but here and there will give you one of those that looks like the arm ball. And of course that will spin across. The batsman go heading towards slip. We've seen one of those already to Zope. No, pulled away. That's a good shot from Zope, playing low. And that will complete the 4th over. So 4 gone. They're chasing 120. They're batting at 22 for 1. So we'll take a look at the point standing. Let's see what we've got. I know Stallions is at the top. And 22 for 1. Yeah, there we go. So the Stallions played 4. They've won all 4. Titans is a surprise team in this tournament because they're really playing good. We see Goranshu Sharma, Kwame Patan Jr.'s, they've been good. Sahir Bhatia has been the top of the game. The Philadelphians, if they win here, they'll join the Titans in 2nd or 3rd position. 1 will come down because of the net run rate scenario. And then, of course, we've got Cavaliers on 4. They don't play this week. They'll play next week. And then New England Eagles and the Manhattan Yorkers at the bottom of the table. So much to play for. Power continues. And ball cracked into the offside. We'll only get 1. Zope. You get the feeling that he's coming into his own now. We've seen a couple of good shots in the last over. And he's beginning to time the ball more frequently. He's at least making contact onto the ball. And hands the strike over to a man who's played in the West for a long time. He's come to the East. And we'll face the bowling of Dhruv Pawar. And let's see what Dhruv Pawar has done in this series. Has into Ganesh. Ganesh is stroking nicely, fluently up into the offside, but a bit of good fielding there from the fielder. It looks like Shett. We saw him earlier on, a good knock of 35. Oh, cut away. We'll only get one. Not much pace on the ball here for Ganesh. So Drew Power, let's look at his bowling figures in the tournament so far. 1 for 15, 1 for 30, none for 23. 2 for 12 stands out as his best bowling figure so far. And earlier we saw 1 for 9 from Drew Power. And so he'll come into bowl to Zope. We talked about Zope. He's beginning to make contact. He's beginning to play better now. Lofted into the onside and gone away over the head of Manoj Acharya. And it has gone away for a boundary. So just eluding Manoj Acharya in the infield. And Manoj Acharya, look at that, just out of reach. And Zope has picked up his first boundary. In fact, his second boundary. A lovely shot. And so now he goes up to let's see, he's gone up to 13 from 16 ball. Yeah, defended here. Good comeback delivery here from Drew Pawar. So second round action for the teams on the east. And here is Drew Pawar. Oh, another good delivery here. Zope beaten all ends up. The fifth over comes to a close. And they're batting at 28 for 1. The batter out, Ryan Scott. He was dismissed for 9. 5 gone is 28 for the loss of 1.
Can I use your USB port? Because my died.
So Preacher gets a rest. Laksh Parikh has been given the ball. So, and we talked about Arya Garg being replaced by Laksh Parikh. Similar swap out, you'd say. Left arm seamer. And so he will come into bowl to Aditya Ganesh, and Ganesh into the offside easy run. And so it's 91 to win from 89. And essentially, if you play on these grounds, essentially you've got to come up with a plan to really tap the ball around, stroke it around. The odd 4s, the odd 6 that can come, and of course, if a ball is there to be hit, you capitalize on that. But your mental approach has to be one in which you've got to set yourself to really do a lot of running, 1s and 2s. Laksh Parikh given the ball here. And we'll come into bowl to Zope. It's been recently that Zope is beginning to, first of all, make contact, and then secondly, play a couple of shots. Big swing and a miss. A ball wideish outside the off stump. Umpire Mihir Patel having a bit of a look. We'll probably take a look at the last ball, see how well Mihir Patel has not called a wide on this one. He's a very good umpire, Mihir Patel. Will probably try to pick up that ball just so I have a sense of how wideish Laksh Parikh has gone. Oh, a full toss. And Zope latches onto it over the offside and gone for a maximum. Lovely strike from Zope. A full toss, and that is why I was talking about. You play the good balls, tap them into gaps, and the loose one when they come, you capitalize. And in that way you got some more breathing space. So it might have been a no ball. Wondering why. It might have been a no ball. Did see Danish Patel signaling like a free hit ball. I hope that's what I saw. Oh, it might have been a field restriction issue. Yeah, he's pointing. Let's have a look at the umpire. Oh. Yeah, wondering why he was. It's a no ball? Yeah, it looks like a no ball. So it looks like the free hit ball. Here is Zope. Yeah, it goes big. No harm done. Yeah, so no ball delivered by Laksh Parikh. Thankfully for them, not much harm done. But let's take a look at one of the. Yeah, the other ball. I was wondering, that was a shot that went for 6. Anyhow, we move on. And so 36 for the loss of 1. They've lost the wicket of Ryan Scott. Yeah, good delivery here. That's the leg cutter. Just rolling your fingers over the ball. It's a quick leg spin. And so 38 for 1. So yeah, the ball did went for a no ball. So a couple of runs here for Zope. And that's what a couple of boundary does. He was lagging behind Zope, facing a lot of deliveries rather than runs, and then he's got a 6, he's got a 4, and 2 scoring shots, and then you've made up a lot of ground. And we've seen 11 in this over from Laksh Parikh. Remember, Laksh Parikh comes in for Arya Garg from the first game. A like-for-like swap, in the sense that they both bowl left arm seam, but so far he's gone for 11 in this over. At a time in which the Yorkers, they're defending just about 6 runs and over. If you're bowling something on the 6, then you've got what it takes to defend the 81 runs remaining. But if you're going over 6, man, then you're just giving up. You're giving up the fight to the Philadelphians. So 6 gone, the power play is done, and after 6, the Philadelphians, they're chasing 120. They're batting a 40 for the loss of 1. So Yasir Mohammed, one of Manhattan Yorkers' more high-profiled player, and that is because he's played at the international level, he's played at the major league level, and he's been around minor league cricket for some time. And you may wonder to know, if a player has done all that, maybe he's an older man, but he's not. He's very young. The thing is, he started his career pretty early, pretty young, and so he comes in here. Aditya Ganesh will be on strike, and so the leg spinner comes in here with 80 runs from 84 balls. So the game just hovering about run a ball. And so the strike goes over to Zope. And I recall last year Onkar Zope was part of the Titans lineup. And so a chance for him to he's coming with the Philadelphians this year. Ball outside the off stump. Has he gotten a touch? I think he has. Fielder does well to keep the ball away, preventing a couple more runs, preventing the boundary. Saved 2 runs. We'll take a look at that. I'm pretty sure if this was at one of those games in which we'll refer some decision, this is a good one for a referral. And this one outside the off stump, playing a miss here from Onkar Zope. We'll take a look at this one. A long chase here from the fielder. And he did well to pull it back. Onkar Zope into the onside. Has he found the gap? Yes! A bit of misfielding there. Fielder coming around. Had a lot of ground to cover. And in the end, Onkar Zope picks up another boundary. Good looking shot into the onside. And he goes up to 28. So a bit of misfortune there for the Yorkers. And it looks like they'll be under pressure now. 47 for 1. And the Philadelphians, they need 73 if they win this game. They'll beat the Yorkers twice today. And that will take them into 2nd or 3rd position. We'll have to wait and see. It's a good delivery here from Yasser Mohammed. Yasser has gone for 7 so far. Yeah, win here for the Philadelphians will take them into number 2 or number 3. And I'm not good at fractions and calculating all those numbers. I'll leave that for Cricket Club. So 7 gone is 48 for the loss of 1. Ryan Scott is the man out. And so they need 72 from 78 balls. So the action continues. 7 gone, 48 for 1. Yeah, taking on the pad. Yeah, it's the time when the batter knows he's way outside leg stump. He leaves his foot right there so the umpire can have a look as long as he wants. But when it's a little bit closer, you don't do that. Dhruv Pawar replaces Laksh Parikh. The plan to bowl Laksh Parikh didn't really work out. 12 off. Parikh's is over. And now they've given the ball back to Dhruv Pawar. So you take a look at that. That's when the batsman doesn't want to move and he'll tell the umpire, look how outside. But we've seen some stranger things. Meher is a good umpire. And so 3 balls in this over so far. Seen a good start again from Dhruv Patel. Dhruv Pawar. 1 for 9 so far. 4 dot balls in a row here to Onkar Zope. Yeah, we saw earlier on he got into a rut, Onkar Zope. And then begin to play some flurries over the offside. Lovely shot again from Onkar Zope. Latches on to this one. And it's over the offside. Brings up the 50 in fine style. And so Onkar Zope, look at this one. Short off the back foot and hammered powerfully into the offside. No fielder there. And Onkar Zope picks up another boundary. Takes the Philadelphians across the 50 mark. And they're 52 for 1. They still need 68 to win. Pulled into the onside. Onkar Zope has struck another ball across the rope. And is gone for a maximum. So a big strike in the last couple of balls from Onkar Zope. timed well off the back foot and pulling well over the ropes. And so the over comes to a close. 8 gone. It's 58 for the loss of 1. The Philadelphians, they need 62 from 72 balls. So Yasser Mohammed will continue. Oh, 8 in his first over. Aditya Ganesh goes big into his own camp. And that is gone for a maximum 2 sixes in a row. One off the bat of Zope in the last over. And now the first ball into this over. Look at that. And the Philadelphians, they come closer home. No, he gets an edge. Lakshpari can't get to the ball, and that has gone away. A 6 and a 4. Not the intended shot, but a productive one. And Aditya Ganesh goes quickly up to 18 from just 10 balls. Take a look at this. Yeah, looking to pull into the onside. Gets an edge. And we've seen a very quick outfield here at Mercer County Park. And he gone away for 4, so 52 to win from 70 balls. And the last 4 balls, well, the last 4 balls before the shot has all gone for boundaries. We've seen 2 in the last over off the bat of Zope. And we've seen a couple in this over off the bat of Aditya Ganesh. So things are looking bright here for the Philadelphians. I talked about if they win, they will go to either number 2 or number 3. And so that spot, those 2 spots on 6 points will be held by the Philadelphians and the Titans. And so we'll have to wait and see. If they beat the Manhattan Yorkers in this game, then they will have made a clean sweep today. Oh, top edge. Doesn't matter. He's going to run away towards the backward point area. And more runs here for the Philadelphians. More runs here for Zope. He goes into the 40s. And runs are coming easier now. Yeah, looking to go straight or onto the onside. And when things are going good for you, you just keep getting better. And we have seen an over gone for 15 from Yasser Mohammed so far. Still a ball remaining. Zope, he's up to 43. He's batted well. Look at this one. That's the googly. Well done. And so that will complete the 9th over. So 9 gone. It's 73 for the loss of 1. 47 to win from 68. The Philadelphians are sailing pretty solidly here at the end of over number 9. 73 for the loss of 1. Yeah, let's take a look at that card. And Zope, can he cash in on the half century? We have seen good support from Aditya Ganesh. And earlier on, we saw Ryan Scott falling for 9. A 60-run partnership. And the Philadelphians, they're solidly on their way to perhaps their second victory over the Yorkers today. So Drew Pawar, his final over, 1 for 19 so far. The only wicket to have fallen was taken by Drew Pawar. A skied catch that Pranav Chattopadhyay took quite easily. And Pawar will come into bowl to Aditya Ganesh. Partnership in effect. And so they need 47 more. The Philadelphians. Now we saw in the previous game, a game that was reduced to 7 over, came down to the last ball. Rema Ramratan into the onside. Fielder didn't judge the ball. Turned into the onside. You get the feeling that Aditya Ganesh has sorted out the conditions here at Mercer County. He stays low, looking to just tap it around, exactly what is needed. Yeah, from the start it was always a tap into the gap and run. And then we have seen some boundaries. We have seen 7 so far from Onkar Zope, 5 fours and 2 sixes. So don't tell him to tap around. But he started a bit shaky, Onkar Zope. And recently he's been striking the ball quite nicely. He's not afraid to take on the bowlers. And one of the things when you stay low, you wait and you play late, you're going to get a lot of short balls. Look at that. I talked about how Aditya Ganesh has figured out what needs to be done and how you acquire runs here. Just some little nudges and just short flicks into the onside, play on the off. And so all of a sudden the Philadelphians in a dominating mood today. They've won the opening encounter. Here they are batting solidly here. Oh, down the leg side, pulled away from Onkar Zope, and he cashes in on another boundary. His 6th 4 of the innings, coupled with a couple of sixes. Look at that, angling down the wrong line, wide outside leg stump. And Onkar Zope in a flash got it around to backward square. He picks up another boundary. We talked about 6 fours for him now, Onkar Zope. And a couple of balls that would have gone over the ropes, gone for 2 maximums. And Onkar Zope, he is on a half century. He is approaching a half century. He's on 48. And we'll have to wait a while longer. The over comes to a close. 7 of this over. And so 10 gone is 80 for 1. So welcome back. 80 for 1, 40 runs needed from 60 balls, 10 overs remaining. Yasir Mohammed, last over went for 15. Unkar Zope, he's on 48. Aditya Ganesh on 21. And we've seen a big partnership here from the batters out in the middle, of 67-run partnership. We saw a bigger one in the other innings. Ball into the offside. We saw 74-run partnership between Danish Patel and Shett. Couple of runs there for Aditya Ganesh. And from the look of things, it looks like the Philadelphians will make a clean sweep today. They badly needed points coming into today's game, and so far they've picked up 2. And they're looking for another 2 points in this game. They're batting solidly here, as we've seen a very good knock from Unkar Zope. He's on 48 at the other end. Number 11, and then of course Aditya Ganesh. We talked about the big partnership of 69 between the pair out in the middle. Yasir in the air and gone. So Aditya Ganesh probably looking for an aggressive shot off the bowling of Yasir Mohammed, and Laksh Parikh comes in. Had to wait some time for the ball to come down, and when it came, it fell straight into the hands of Laksh Parikh. Look at this. Had to wait a long time, and in the end a diving take by Laksh Parikh, and the big partnership of 69 comes to an end. Aditya Ganesh gone. It's 82 for 2. So J.K. Parwani comes to the middle. And the big news is, can the Yorkers make an impression with 38 runs to get? Can they provide what we saw in the earlier game, drama again, or will the Philadelphians with 38 get home this afternoon here at Mercer County Park? And so final ball, we've seen a very good over here from Yasir Mohammed. Previous over went for 15, so this is quite a comeback from this man who's played at the international level. And he comes in here with a final ball to Parwani, new man out in the middle. A ball that beats him outside the off stump. And that will complete 11. So 11 gone. It's 82 for 2.
सबके तो ये चीज़ें तो आपका स्पेयर मिनिमम होनी चाहिए वो टेलीकॉम के अंदर स्पेयर फिर बाकी चीज़ें नहीं है वो देखो अपन मेरा डैशबोर्ड के तो ये इस दो आइटम को छोड़ के जितना का मेन आइटम है टेबल वो सारी चीज़ें आपका समेत यहाँ पर टेलीकॉम के।
So another bowling change. Drew Pawar gets a rest, and it looks like Ishan Sharma has been given the ball. Unlike the other team, we've seen a lot of seam bowling here from the Yorkers. We saw Manager Charya, we saw Laksh Parikh. Arya Garg is not playing, but here comes Ishan Sharma. And a play and a miss by Unkar Zope. He remains at 48. And if Zope gets a 50 here, it will be the second half century we will see in this game. We saw 60 from Danish Patel. And so Unkar Zope started a bit shaky, but here he is on 48. Oh, into the offside. Yasir Mohammed is the fielder, so he goes up one more to a well-played half-century. When he gets to it, he's up on 49, Unkar Zope. And J.K. Parwani comes in to strike. Ishan Sharma giving the ball here.
अच्छा हाँ हाँ तुमने काउंट्री के लिए भी ना
And so now 37 to win from 52. As Parwani settles and waits for Ishan Sharma. Into the offside, allowing maybe Onkar Zope to go for what will be the second half century of the game. So while you can talk about conditions, it'll be the second half century we've seen. We've seen one from Danish Patel earlier on, and now it comes down to if Onkar Zope can get one. So that alone can tell you that with application you can make runs on this pitch. Taking on the pad. If he has a nick on this, that's 50 for him. If not, it looks like leg by. Leg by is the call from umpire Mihir Patel. Yeah, we talked about the umpires, Mihir Patel and Colin Edwards, every time you come around to matches as Morsa County Park. You're bound to see the likes of Mihir Patel, Colin Edwards, Dimple Patel. They always around this area. So here is Ishan Sharma. And a good ball here from Parwani to Parwani, can score. And so we've seen a good over so far from Ishan Sharma. Only 3 off this over, 2 off his bowling. And we've seen a leg by. And so the Philadelphians will play their remaining games out at far away from here. Taking on the pad. He's gone, is it? Yeah, might have been. He's gone. So that's the end of Parwani. Another wicket falls for the Philadelphians. And it's 85 for 3. 85 for 3. Ishan Sharma strikes. Parwani is gone. It's 85 for 3.
नहीं नहीं वो ठीक है वो शुरू में ज़्यादा इतना देखना नहीं होता 7 इंच का है सारे यार एक काम करो फील वर्ल्ड फील वर्ल्ड फील वर्ल्ड भी सस्ता मिल जाएगा क्योंकि तुम्हें तुम्हें चाहिए नहीं इतना मतलब वो चुनौती के अलावा तुम्हें दूसरा वाला ऐसा कुछ चाहिए नहीं 7 इंच का ही ले लो लेकिन फील वर्ल्ड का फील वर्ल्ड की मेरे को सस्ती है
So Yasser Mohammed will continue. 3 overs, no made 1 for 25. Got a wicket in the last over of Aditya Ganesh. 35 to win. And Onkar Zope remains on 49, looking for a big one. And he gets an outside edge, so 43 ball, 49. In fact, make that 44 balls. And has brought the Philadelphians to 35 runs away from their second win of the day. Oh, cracked into the offside. So a half century for Onkar Zope. And it comes in fine style. A boundary for Onkar Zope. And so he goes up to 53 from 46 ball. The second half century we've seen today. And look at that. Punched into the offside with a lot of power. And when you do that, no man move. And so Yasser has gone for 4 and a dot in this over. It's 89 for 3. And brings the Philadelphians closer to the second win today. 31 runs needed. And the ball outside the off stump. Well bowled here from Yasser Mohammed. And Onkar Zope, 53. He's really batted well. And anytime you could get a 50 in up at Morsa County or even in Albany, it really shows good commitment, good application, and then of course those big shots that, as in the case of Onkar Zope, he does have. And we've seen quite a few from him. Let's see what he's done in terms of boundary. Onkar Zope, we talked about 7 4s and 2 6s. Bhaskar Yadram in the meantime had come to the middle and defended into the offside. So here's a man who knows his way around minor league, Bhaskar Yadram. I think he's returned to the Yorkers. I thought at one time he was with Yorkers, but I know he's spent a couple of years at the Stallions. Now he's come over to the Philadelphians. So the 13th over comes to a close. It's 91 for 3. They need 29 to win. 91 for 3. So Ishan Sharma will get another over in. His first over went pretty well. Picked up the wicket of Parwani and runs it now to bowl to Bhaskar Yadram. And Yadram defends still 91 for 3. They need 29 to win. And this is what I was talking about. Look at Bhaskar Yadram. Look at when he settles, he caters for the ball that will probably be low. Look at his crouch. He stays down and he waits. Yeah, into the offside. You've got to go down to reach the ball that will keep low. I know you're playing at the expense of one that will probably pop on you, but got to be prepared to take some bit of chance with something. Bhaskar Yadram, 29 to win. He's on one. Here is Ishan Sharma. Yeah, into the offside. Scampering throw. Shett comes in with a good throw. Batsman safely home. Good running here from Onkar Zope. And I get the feeling that Onkar Zope could be at liberty to play a couple more shots. Has done that effectively well. Seems to be an attacking player. When you ask him to attack the ball, then you bring so much out of him. Oh, look at that. I was talking about how well he can attack the ball. And I've seen a couple of times, and this is something that Onkar Zope will probably have to work out. I tend to think that when he plays those big shots, the bat turns in his hand. I'm not sure if it's the glove not getting the perfect grip, but I've seen a couple of times that shot, for example, the ball seems to, the bat seems to turn in his hand, and thereby not giving him full control of the shot that he wants to play at times. But Yadram picks up one. 26 to win from 37. And Zope comes into strike. A well-played 55. We saw highest score so far on this ground today has been 60 by Danish Patel. Really batted well himself, Danish Patel. Look at that, play and a miss. You got to stay low, and you'll get those shots in. So the 14th over comes to a close. It's 94 for 3. So it looks like Manoj Acharya comes back for another spell. First over went for 10. And we talked about three captains who have been over to Yorkers over time. Manoj Acharya has been there. We've seen the opening year cut away from Bhaskar Yadram with all the ease in the world, and that has gone away for a lovely shot through the offside from Bhaskar Yadram. Gone away for 4. Yeah, look at this one. Punched away, finds the gap. And he runs quickly away. Bhaskar Yadram 98 for 3. And they need 22 to win in 35 balls. So what a couple of games we've seen here for the Philadelphians. And they'll walk away today with 4 points, 2 already from the morning game. And it looks like the evening game is getting wrapped up. We've seen good knock from Zope and Bhaskar Yadram so far. Also saw a good hand from Aditya Ganesh charging Manoj Acharya. They come back for a couple of runs. And so 2 more runs to the experienced Bhaskar Yadram. Brings up the 100 in the process. And so in the 15th over, the 100 comes up here for the Philadelphians. And so they need 20 more to put 6 points on the table from tonight. And we talked about with 6 points, then the Philadelphians will get up to number 2 or number 3. There's another team with 6 points, and that is the Titans from New York City. And so we'll have to wait and see how those number tabulates. But one thing for sure, the Philadelphians will go to sleep tonight realizing that they've really accomplished much with a couple of wins at a time in which we saw during the course of last weekend that wins was something very rare on the Philadelphians result board. But it's Friday, another day, and the Philadelphians, they're in control here with 19 to win from 33 balls. We talked about Manoj Acharya, one of 3 captains to come out of Yorkers over time. Smith Patel, the first year we saw Sirajdeep Darbar in, I think, 2022. And then on, we've seen the helm of leadership handed over to Manoj Acharya. And so, leg by is a call from umpire Colin Edwards. And we come down to the last 18 runs remaining. The Philadelphians will be quite happy with the way things have gone here. And speaking of them, we've seen Corner Dry here at the helm. But we have also seen the likes of Jonathan Fu, who's been at the helm of the Philadelphia, Milind Kumar the year before. So Milind Kumar, Jonathan Fu, and now Corner Dry has been at the leadership for the Philadelphians. And as in the case of Corner Dry, he comes from another division. First time on the eastern side. So here's Manoj Acharya, final ball. He's gone for 9. Onkar Zope on 55. Zope swings and the stumps is knocked back. So Manoj Acharya picks up 1. It's 103 for 4. Still 17 to get. So big knock from Onkar Zope. Looks like Ishan Sharma walked to the top of his mark. He might be thinking, what can we do to defend 17? Bhaskar Yadram will be on strike. Hakim Diwar has come to the middle. And we've seen already Bhaskar Yadram getting into the thick of things. Was not with the Philadelphians the first 3 days of competition last weekend, but he came in on Labor Day Monday and quickly stamped his authority on the competition by getting a 40. And so here he is. I'm pretty sure that the Philadelphians would love his service any day. Such a high performer as Hakim Diwar. We talked about Hakim Diwar making his minor league debut earlier on. Played in the first game. Didn't go too well, but he's got 16 runs remaining. And here is Ishan Sharma to Akim Diwar. And Diwar plays and misses outside the off stump. Akim Diwar, of course, comes out of the West Indies and have played regional cricket back in the West Indies. And represented the CCC, one of the first class team in the Caribbean. That's the combined colleges and campus. Yeah, cut away. Lovely shot here from Akim Diwar, fetching him runs. And so he is off the mark in minor league. Couple of runs. In fact, they'll look for 3. And so 3 good-looking runs there from Akim Diwar. And brings the Philadelphians closer to home. They're 13 needed. They're 13 away from going up to 6 points. 13 away from winning both of their games today. And they're 13 away from improving their record. They came into this morning game with 1-3, having lost one in four tries. Sliced well here from Bhaskar Yadram. And he picks up a couple of runs, so he wants to finish this pretty early. Maybe wants to have a quick drive back to New York. A lot of these players, Bhaskar Yadram, Akim Diwar, they will be involved in semi-final games tomorrow. Tomorrow, the New York National League Saturday semi-finals. And I want to think that both Bhaskar Yadram and Akim Diwar plays on that Everest ACS team. I think they're taking on Miri Piri. And so tomorrow the boys have got a Oh, balled him! What a ball here from Ishan Sharma! He has taken out the off stump of Bhaskar Yadram, knocked it flat. And that's a peach of a delivery here from Ishan Sharma. Where he had that all the time, that's the big question. And so it's 109 for 5, a beauty of a delivery. Look at that. Bhaskar Yadram can't believe what has happened. It's not a good song to hear the rattle of the stumps behind you. And Bhaskar Yadram, a brilliant delivery from Ishan Sharma. Unbelievable. And another wicket falls here for the Philadelphians. 109 for 5. So the captain, corner dry, comes to the middle. They need 11 from 25. Ishan Sharma has picked up 2. Picked up the wicket of Parwani. Comprehensively got through the defense of Bhaskar Yadram. Lofted into the offside. Could get a couple of runs there, corner dry. Look, he wanted one. And so corner dry comes in here. 16 gone. It's 110 for 5. They need 10 to win. 110 for 5. So welcome back, and we're coming down to the home stretch here. And home stretch for who? Well, it's the home stretch for the Philadelphians. It's going to be tough for them to lose from here. 10 to win from 24. Laksh Parikh will come back for another spell. We saw an over that went for 12 earlier on, but we'll come into bowl to the captain, corner dry. And corner dry settles and waits with 10 runs to get. Yeah, good delivery here. Slower ball here from Laksh Parikh. And things have begun here in the 17th over. We talked about the men who have led the Philadelphians Jonathan Fu the last time. Milind Kumar at one time. And now Corny Dry. 10 runs to win. And that will be the second victory over the Yorkers today. And the ball driven into the offside brings them closer home. And now with 9 runs remaining, Akeem Diwar comes into strike. We talked about Akeem Diwar, his first season in minor league, but he's been part of New York cricket landscape for a long time. Very experienced player, Akeem Diwar, and wherever he goes to any team, he's always been looked upon as leadership. And he's been part of the Everest ACS contingent. He has captained teams there. And I know that they've got an important game on Sunday. I think they're playing. He plays in the Commonwealth Cricket League for a team called USCC, and they're playing the New York Thunderbolts. A lot of the guys from the NYC Titans team, Jaladua and company. And he's captained those units at times. So Akeem Diwar, while he's making his debut in minor league cricket, he's been around New York cricket for some time, and so he knows the cricketing landscape of this country pretty well. Here is Laksh Parikh. Big appeal. Colin Edwards says not out. And so the action will continue. 8 runs to win. We've seen an impressive display here from the Philadelphians. They might want to like the Mercer County ground, but guess what? They're not playing here anymore. All their games, they will have to go back, make that long trip up to Albany. The only teams that will play a whole lot of games here are the Manhattan Yorkers. This is their home ground. Gone. So Corner Dry gets one. One of those fast leg break. And he's out caught behind. And so another wicket goes down. They need 8. It's 112 for 6. 112 for 6. 8 needed by the Philadelphians. So 112 for 6. Prashad comes to the middle. And I heard a fan say, get one more wicket and game on. Well, you never know. You never know. It's 112 for 6. 112 for 7. You never know. Here is Laksh Parikh. Final ball. Ball defended. Every run will count into the offside. Looking for 2. They settle for 1. And so the Philadelphians, they need 7, 6 wickets down. 18 balls remaining. Prashad and Akeem Diwar out in the middle. It's 113 for 6, 17 gone. So the Philadelphians, they need 7 to win from 18 balls. Prashad will be on strike. Diwar is on 4. And it's 113 for 6. Manhattan Yorkers, they'll be feeling if they can get another wicket here, you can make it interesting. And the Philadelphians know that every single run from here on will bring them closer to earning that 6 points that they were badly chasing when they came to the park early this morning. Oh, lovely drive through the offside, all the ease in the world. And what drama you're talking about. Prashad is here, and he minces no words at all. And that's a lovely drive through the offside. He picks up a boundary, and now you get the feeling that the Philadelphians may not lose this one or cannot lose this one. And look at that, it's a lovely drive back and across, and that's how you play these things. And it's a lovely shot through the offside from Prashad. Such a quality player. Extremely top all-rounder is Prashad. Here is Ishan Sharma. And he gets one that makes a bit of a height. Prashad allows it to go through to the keeper, Pranav Chattopadhyay. And so it's heading for a Philadelphians double here. They came to the park with only two points, and it looks like they're gonna leave here with point number 6. Here is Ishan Sharma into the offside. Can't score this time. And a couple of good balls here after the 4 from Ishan Sharma. So just about 6 o'clock here, Eastern on the New Jersey coastline. And we've seen a couple of good games today. And the Manhattan Yorkers, they're going down twice in one day. Here is Ishan Sharma. Oh, lofted into the offside. In trouble is Prashad. Oh, another wicket falls. So Prashad goes for 5, 4, and a single and gone. Ishan Sharma has picked up his 3rd wicket. It's 117 for 7. 117 for the loss of 7. Yeah, Prashad looking for a big shot. Skied it into the offside. And it looks like Preet Shah has come in and take a very good catch. Well judged. And another wicket goes down. 117 for the loss of 7. Ray comes to the middle. And we saw the hero of the first game today, and it's looked like Ram Ratan will see them home again. Yeah, he signals leg stump, and he waits for Ishan Sharma. Sharma has bowled well, 3 for 16. And Raymond Ram Ratan comes in here again. Can he cross them? Can he cross the line for them again? Here is Sharma. Oh, he allows one to go through, kept a little low. And it goes through to Pranav Chattopadhyay. So the Yorkers, they will have to do some work, a lot of work to be done. And they're not going to get it easier because they've got 2 big teams coming here. They've got the Stallions and the Cavaliers. So those teams, you don't want to be struggling for points, and you've got to face them. A couple of good deliveries here. Big appeal from Ishan Sharma. Nado says umpire Mihir Patel. And so 2 overs left. They need 3 to win. It's 117 for 7. So Lax Parikh, want to think this may be the last over. If this goes further than the 19th, we are in for something dramatic. But you get the feeling that the Philadelphians would want to make this the last over. Akim Diwar, here's the man on strike. And so he faces up to Lax Parikh. Here's Parikh. Gets a good delivery. Winds Akim Diwar up. And so a good start to the 19th over. 3 runs to win. Yeah, we're coming down to a similar situation, but they've got balls remaining. They've got 11 balls to still work with. And if you are a Philadelphian fan, you'll be quite happy with the way things have gone. They've won the opening game, and here they are on the verge. And defended. This is one of them. And so a delayed single. But Hakim Diwar, he goes up to 5 and hands the strike over to Raymond Ramratan. And so another run will level the scores, and a couple of runs will give them maximum points in a couple of games. Today we talked about the Yorkers will have to get their act together. They're seemingly in a bind to move on this year. And the fact is, we talked about they've got 2 big teams coming to visit them next week and then the following week. So they've got the Stallions coming over here and the Cavaliers, and we know from not only this year but the other years that these 2 teams don't play. It's 119 for 7. Scores are leveled. Yep. And one will win it here for the Philadelphians. They came here with a purpose this morning, and it looks like it will be mission accomplished. Hakim Diwar on strike. They need 1 to win. Here is Laksh Parikh. And cut away into the offside. And it doesn't matter now where the ball goes. And in the end, it's the Philadelphians. They've won their 2nd game. And there you go. A round of applause. And of course, delighted bunch of cricketers and players and officials. With the news, the Philadelphians have taken maximum points onto this game by defeating the Manhattan Yorkers twice in one day. And so the Philadelphians, they win again by 3 wickets. And that's a summary. We saw a good knock from Danish Patel, got 60, 35 from Devan Shett. And they posted 119, but it was not to be. We saw a good knock from Onkar Zope, who got 55. And he was supported nicely by Aditya Ganesh. We saw a big partnership of 60 between the pair. And the bowling, well, Ishan Sharma picked up 3 for 16. But in the end, the Philadelphians, they win by 3 wickets. So, folks, there you have it. The Philadelphians will go up to 6 points. And they will join the NYC Titans on 6. With the Stallions at the top of the table on 8. So, maximum points for the Philadelphians. And I talked about they came here this morning looking for max. Well, they're going home having done exactly what they hoped for. So, folks, there you have it from the Mercer County Park. On behalf of our production crew, Moshin and company, we want to tell you good afternoon and good evening, and maybe good night for some, wherever you are. Until then, goodbye and good night.